Now, you had mentioned Grant Cardone. I know that Grant invited you to his private mastermind, which you said was kind of a shock, but tell me about that, what you learned from it, and, the whole experience.
Yeah, it was a shock to me when Grant invited me because, it was free. Like, he literally invited like 50 of the world's best online marketers. And dude, I mean, he taught us all kinds of stuff. He let us meet with all the department heads at his company. He took us on private helicopter trips. I got to ride his helicopter all around. He waved to me from his freaking beach mansion. Took us on a yacht, like $100 million yacht, fed us. I mean, he probably spent $1 million or $2 million on that event. I mean, he really like wined and dined us, and it was a whole thing, and to have been asked to be a part. I mean, imagine that the only billionaire in your industry says, "Hey, I think you're one of the top 50 in our entire space. Come and let me like spend all this money on you." I was flattered. I mean, I know I'm good, but that's really good, So I was honored to be in that room. And of course I saw all my friends there, Anthony and Adrian Morrison, Cody Sperber, I got to, hang out with all my friends that we all speak at the same events. So, but it was really, really, really cool. And, I'm actually, of those people, a small percentage of us, he decided to partner with for an event in January, and I was one of those people. So you'll see some stuff on my socials about that. Yeah.
Great work, man. Now imagine if you hadn't taken the risks that you took to get to the point where you are in your life. Like, imagine, because a lot of people stay in the comfort zone of getting their bills paid, even if it's barely, or they're struggling every month, so you took a risk to get to this point. And to people like you, I think I've always looked at it like it's a risk to stay there, right? It's a risk to stay in that spot and not go seek something bigger. But if you were to give advice to somebody who, again, is working a normal job, but they want better things, what's your advice to somebody to go after it, go get it?
Yeah. So this is the advice. If you are working at a normal job, or even if you're an entrepreneur and you're not making the money you want to make, you have to understand a very simple equation. It's called value of risk. I was in Aruba for New Year's, and I went on this ATV tour. The ATV tour was great. It was fantastic. Had a great time. But at the end, the tour guide, he says, "Hey, we accept tips if you want to tip us. That's how we get paid. My boss, he just sits in his chair and does nothing and collects a check. We do all the work." And this right here is a fundamental belief that most people have, and it keeps them poor. They believe that their hard work is responsible for the company's revenue. It's responsible for the company's success. And the truth is, that guy's expendable. The owner of that company could find another dude to do exactly what he did. He's a dime a dozen. And so his value is not much. It doesn't matter how hard he's working. And I know that doesn't sound popular, but it doesn't matter how hard you work for a company. That's not what is valuable to a company. You see, what's valuable is risk, because the owner of that company, he spent millions of dollars. They probably had 100 ATVs. He spent millions of dollars on that, licensing, insurance, dealing with the Arubian government, just so much risk. That employee is only risking 8 hours of his day and some sweat. That's it. And what actually gets you a return in life is not hard work, it's risk. So the employee, I don't care how hard he works, he's only risking this much, but the entrepreneur risks this much. And so that is why he is allowed, and he is more than deserving to sit on his butt, do nothing now, and collect that check, not because he worked hard, but because he was willing to risk. And one thought exercise you can do is you can hold your arm out. And when you hold your arm out, imagine that somebody flips a coin. And if they land on heads, you get $1 million. If they land on tails, they chop your arm off. Most people would not take that bet because they don't want to lose their arm. But successful people, they take that bet every day. The beauty of this, though, is when you invest your money into when you risk your money, you're risking something that can grow back. Your arm can't grow back. And so this is my God's honest advice. Risk. Take some money, and instead of spending it on that next vacation, instead of spending it on this, instead of spending it on that, invest it into learning something, learning a skill. For me, sales. I've spent over $500,000 learning sales and marketing, and it's produced $30 million for me. You know, I risked hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know how hard it is to get out there on social media and say, I know this thing. This is the way it is. Da, 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 da. And people, every day, people tell me I suck. People tell me I'm horrible. I still get the, oh, you're a scammer, this and that. And then, obviously there's the people that love me. But the truth is that if nobody hates you, then you ain't doing jack. You're not doing nothing if nobody hates you.